Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about how easy it is to be consistent once you get past yourself. We shared with you the Apple one and done and the high five today, how you were able to make easy money, how this big US China trade war resulted in a crushing opportunity for all of us, our precise daily stock levels, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So many cool things to talk about. Again, I know I come on and I just basically say how trading is really easy. And I would say at least 95% of the emails I get when I say about these things usually agree with me. There's some traders who are always having difficulties, and we're always trying to lift them up and get them to that level. But trading really is easy, and more people are exploding into our room, into our service because of these things. And I will just, share with you this and so much more to talk about today, including where I think marijuana stocks are going. Hint, only when you smoke them they go higher. But first, before we get into that, I would like to say a deep and heart and sincere thank you to our friends over at the T3 Live Compliance team who asked me to have you pause this, read this, and once you're done reading, then go ahead and continue this video. Thank you so much for spending the time in reading that, and let's just go over how we made our money today. So again, I know I keep quoting it um, from Twitter because if you're not in the room, you're not in the room, and it makes it a lot more difficult to understand everything that we're doing today. So, first, the day started off very simple with, you know, Newsbeat Live Morning Ideas, 9:13:18, one and done and high five ready, Apple upgrade looking for a long. So if you don't know what the one and done in high five strategy is, it's an algorithmic strategy that we have invented and created here in the Newsbeat live room, in which we apply to the market every day based on the Newsbeat live names. Anybody who tells you that news is not the most important thing in the market doesn't have the consistency or track record to back that claim. And I tell this to people, and a lot of people get upset because they haven't broken through with access. So it's easy for somebody to look at me and say, well, the news is already priced into the market. No, it isn't. The news is not always priced into the market. There are tons of market inefficiencies with news. And I think I go ahead and I prove it every day. So I come out this morning, 9:07 a.m. If you're in the room, you got it 8, I think 8:40 I posted Apple or wherever whenever it was. Bottom line, it's before 9:30 before the day begins. You get it right over here. Sold my Baba calls for 530, paid 305. Thanks, Mark. Hey, Mark, might want to keep an eye on China names too. I know you own Baba calls. They should pay nicely. Okay, well, thank you. But this is the point I'm making here. I think that was from the overnights we took, which how on fire have we been with those? With that being said, Apple upgrade, high five, one and done strategy. Let's talk about it and how you could have done it. So what does the one and done strategy says? It says you pick a name on the Newsbeat, upgrade list, and as soon as a 1 minute bar breaks out, you buy through that 1 minute candle and you set your stop below. And it's a very simple strategy. Again, it was um, it was the only name on our game plan today, right over there, Apple upgrade. Newsbeat Live Morning, we give this in the pre market. It's the same thing I share with you guys on Twitter. And what did we do with Apple? Simple. Here's the 1 minute. Apple opened up, started flushing, came up as it's coming up here. It's 223, 223.10, 223.30. And what am I saying in the chat? If you break 223.65, which is the top of this 1 minute candle, I'm going to buy it. And I know it sounds stupid and easy, and it's not just about taking any 1 minute strategy and doing it. The consistency is done when you actually do it on Newsbeat live names. Again, if you actually look at the one and done strategy, we say choose a name with positive or negative news. The best ones are offered daily in the Newsbeat live room. So that's literally our step one. But going back to the chart here, very simple. Bought through 223.65. Stock started exploding. I was selling on the way up. Stock got as high as 225.29 before pulling in and going up even further. You would have a stop all the way down here. It would have never stopped you out, and you could have held it the entire day. I didn't. I ended up making money. Then I took a step back. What is the next thing we do after we go ahead and we capitalize on the one and done strategy? So after we do the one and done, we go right to the high five. It's in order. First we start with the one and done, then we go to the high five. And if you want to know what these are, there's a link in the description. Read it. It's there for a reason. I spent my time giving you a whole video on it, sharing it with the world, even outside my community, because I just want to show you the value that we're bringing here. And you be the judge. If consistency is what you're trying to achieve, you found the right place, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions as well. High five strategy. Very simple. We're looking at a 5-minute chart now of Apple. So after I bought in the one and done this morning, I'm just waiting for Apple to test the 5-minute, to test the exponential 8 on the 5-minute. Why am I waiting to test the exponential 8? Because that is the damn rule. The stock must open gap up above the 5-minute exponential 8 for Newsbeat upgrade names. After the 5-minute bar tests the ADMA and closes, look for the stock to break out of the top of the very next 5-minute candle. I know I keep showing you this over and over. You can't make this stuff up. It works. It works. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. That's what 2 weeks of trading almost always looks like for me in terms of how many days I'm profitable. All right. And this methodology obviously works on other names as well. I'm just showing you the names I focused in on. So we waited here, right over here, this yellow line. If you look in the top left, it's hard to see. It says 223.80. It hit a low there of 223.80. Stock jumped up to 224.43 and the bar closed. I didn't even buy it there. Look what the stock does after. So I buy through. I'm just going to try to zoom in as well as possible here for you to see it. And right over here, we bought through the top here, and here's a 5-minute of Apple, grinding up the entire day. Grinding up, grinding up, grinding up, grinding up, broke 228, got as high as 228.35. So when you bought through the high five strategy, you'd be buying through 224.82, and it got to 228.35. Do I have to even tell you what our Apple calls did on a move like that? Did I hold for the whole way up? Not a single contract. Not a single contract. Some of you wild animals in the room traded it better than me. But you have to realize that so many people out there, I think, are not to put anyone down. They're just jokes. And I'm not putting them down because I was that joke. I was that joke. Like when I was broadcasting 7, 8 years ago, at the time, I thought I was doing a good job, the best I could. It's not that I'm trying to fool or deceive anyone, but looking back at the broadcaster I was 7 or 8 years ago, I was a joke. And a lot of people around me are jokes. And you have to take your ideas to the next level. People are, started. I got an email talking about, swing trades recently. And like just looking at our swing trades, I look at these things and I'm like, this entire thing is a joke. No, I'm not right 100% of the time. I don't pretend to be ever. But pretty much this is this is what it looks like. So the week started on Tuesday, right? Where we started doing the overnights, right? So right here, Baba calls 160 strikes, paid 318. People, thanks, picked it up late. Somebody made a triple right here, whatever. These are just responses. There are hundreds of people who are catching these names. So that's the first overnight we did. The next day, we did this. And again, I am wrong as well. So yesterday we bought Baba 165 calls. And you walked into Alibaba today and it was gapped up tremendously. So we bought it here, and I sold the majority of it here today. Do you see a pattern here? That all of a sudden everything is clicking after Labor Day? That's what I was trying to tell you guys. And I don't know what's going to happen with this one, but I know Citron was bashing Tilray. What did I say in the room? Tilray, let it break $125 and then look for puts. Broke. This is what TLRY did today. I can't make this up. Got to $127.27, made an all-time high, and then leaned lower, closed at 119.76. I went ahead and I bought a put spread for next week. 110, bought 110 puts, shorted 95, basically doing a bearish bet. Paid $7.29 for that privilege to try to make $15 or $7.71 net if I paid 7.29. And this was a bearish play overnight. Tilray right now is at 110.54. Tilray is down over 9 points after hours. What a coincidence. The service paid for, probably for some of you, lifetime membership. You know how many people in the room were dropping five-figure numbers today? Saying, Mark, I made this much, 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, 14,000, several people. And that's how I know that I'm doing something that's bringing value to you guys when I see that. When I see the people around me make it, it's one thing when I make $1 million, it's another thing when you make $1 million trading with me for a year. That is a whole different animal. There's a difference when I'm consistent. There's a difference when you're consistent. Me being consistent makes me a good trader. The truth is, most traders hide their consistency. Most traders love to show off their most broadcasters who are traders love to show off their good P&Ls because it suckers people in. People will do a show, they'll screenshot their 10 best P&Ls that they've had, whether it's in a day trading, swing account, whatever it is, and they'll actually show you their 10 best P&Ls. They'll be like, here, look, here's a day where I made $10,000, and here's a day where I made $50,000, and this is a day where I made $7,000. And they'll show you that, and you'll be like, oh my God, this guy is amazing. But where's the consistency? He doesn't show you a date. It's not like, well, yesterday I made 10, next day I made 50, next day I made 7, next day. No, you never see it like that. The date's always hidden. You know why? Because it's a sucker. It's a sucker thing. They really did make those days, most likely. I can't confirm, but I would bet on it that they made those days. But how about you show people the losing trades you did? People would have a lot more respect for you if you showed them the good, the bad, and the ugly. You'll never see the bad and the ugly. Me putting myself out on Twitter, I don't give trade ideas. That is the biggest load of horse manure I've ever heard in my life. I don't like giving trade ideas. I would rather have 3 trades, 4 trades, tell you the ones in real time I'm taking, and leave it like that. The people who unload, like the people who are, if you're in a room and you had 30 names or 40 names or 50 names, in your head, psychologically, you think it's bringing you value. Look how much they're offering. Here, take everything. Do you realize what a scam that is for you? You realize how much damage that does for you? You are not meant to focus on 30, 40, 50 names and even pick a few from them. You are meant to get solid ideas. It's always about quality over quantity. And you know how I know? Because I was that person who would give quantity over quality over the years as a broadcaster. And again, you have to get to that next level. You have to get to the level where, whether you're right or wrong, put your ass on the line. Don't give 50 names and then talk about the 3 that worked. Don't give 50 names and talk about the 15 of them that worked. Show what you're doing. Me on my Twitter service, I am giving you my live trades ahead of time, and you'll see if I look good or bad. I mean, I'll only be as good as my last trade, right? And I will lose on these trades too. But here, 3:51 p.m. I even told you guys today. I even told you guys this. I said, so I didn't buy it, but I'm watching NIO. There are no options. It's the new IPO, which means risk reward is not my favorite liking. I even typoed favorite, so you could even see the bad and the ugly, even when my grammatical skills are embarrassed in front of the world. I didn't buy anything yet, but watching this, wanted to give a heads up. Someone actually replied, again, I just read these now. I'm usually busy later in the day and can't pay attention in the VTF, so this type of stuff is very helpful. Okay, thank you. So that was the point. So I was even watching NIO for an overnight long. The stock closed at 11.60. It's trading at $13 right now. Did I take it? No. But between this and Tilray, I was thinking of both of these. Did I take Tilray for the short or the puts? Damn right I did. And the thing is down $9. It's not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, that everything is all of a sudden clicking together. It's the fact that Labor Day happened. And every year this happens after Labor Day. And it's going to continue to happen. And I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you think it's good what happened now, you think you missed something, I would say if I had to estimate, remember when I said like Labor Day, you're going to like a red light and you stop, and then after Labor Day, you get to go again, you start accelerating. When you come off a red light, you don't slam the gas pedal and go 70 miles an hour unless you want to get pulled over by the police or maybe you're one of those a-holes on the road that drive dangerously. Please don't do that. I'm not judging you. Just don't endanger the lives around you. But you're basically at the point where you go from 0 miles to 10 to 20 to 30 if you're on a highway, 40 to 50, maybe 60, maybe 65, 70 if you're in New Jersey, if you're in New York, maybe 40, 50, 55, and you start accelerating. I would say right now where the market is, we're going like 20 miles an hour after the red light. Do you understand the type of home runs that are going to be dropped in your face? Do you understand that? I know I keep talking about it. I know I do. It's going to happen. This to me, these little Baba overnights and Tilray shorts and intradays on Apple that we're making money on, to me, that's just one step above garbage for me. There's garbage, there are those trades, and then there are the home run trades above that. Me, that's in the middle. So if you think you're missing anything, you haven't even seen it yet. And just like I told you how things are going to pick up after Labor Day and there's going to be more opportunity, I'm the same person who's telling you you've seen nothing yet. So many five-figure days from people in the room off of Alibaba, the calls we made calling the bottom of the Chinese market, phenomenal timing, so much easy, consistent money. I tell people, somebody's messaged me like, Mark, well, they're talking to me about trading. I'm like, how did you do? It's like, well, I'm making money every day this week. And I'm like, that's great. What did you make money on today? He's like, Apple. I'm like, how much money? He's like, $320. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? Here's a trader who's trying to get to consistency. Here's a trader who's trying to get their trading to a consistent level. He made $320. And I'm like, well, how did you do the other day? I don't remember the exact numbers. He told me it's like 100 in this, 100 in that. And then he had a $500 day. And I'm like, you're up over $1,000 by Thursday. You're up over $1,000. You know what? I got good news for you. Because you're not trading this little small cap penny garbage, you can size up. You can size up. You can do what you need to do. You're trading a name like Apple? Yes, you can add another zero at the end of your position size in Apple, and generally it doesn't make a difference other than the risk control behind it. You could go as heavy in Apple as you could humanly want. Warren Buffett could go as heavy in Apple as he wants, and it's manageable. There'll always be a buyer. That is the benefit when you trade some of the names we trade. Forget about a large cap name. This is the largest cap name on the planet. There is no more valuable known publicly traded company on the planet than AAPL. There is none. It's non-existent. It's $1 trillion company. We're trading it and we're calling out breakouts based on the robots that are trading this name, and we did it consistently. One and done in high five. Beautiful. Perfect. Everything working. Overnight's working. Everything is clicking together. Remain, remain, remain vigilant, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be more to come. Remain vigilant. I will show you over and over how easy it is to make money 7 out of 10 days, 8 out of 10 days, 9 out of 10 days, 10 out of 10 days for 2 weeks. I say 7 out of 10 as opposed to 4 out of 5 because 7 out of 10 is 70%. That's where I think your minimum consistent threshold should be. That should be your minimum goal to make money 7 out of 10 days. So if you trade for 2 weeks, you make money 4 days one week, you make money 3 days the next week. And two of those days, one or two, usually two of those days that you made money should be more, way more than each of your losing days individually. And you will be able, I have faith in you that you will be able to accomplish everything. Just stick with the game plan and don't let yourself beat yourself. You are the hardest person to beat in this market. Game plan in Forex. Is it a shocker? NIO, the name we talked about on Twitter that I didn't take as an overnight, that is exploding $1.60 after hours for this new IPO. What a coincidence. Or, the other name on the list right now, Tilray for a short tomorrow through 109. Is that a coincidence that 109 happens to be today's low and the stock is trading down? Who knows what happens tomorrow? I have no idea. But currently it's down over $9. The stock dropped as low as 104, meaning the stock was down $15.76 after hours. Do you see anything in this chart that makes you want to short it? Do you? You know what happened? People started asking me. People outside the room started asking me, Mark, where do you think Tilray could go? I said, for me, maybe it breaks 125, and then you look for your short. Because Andrew Left was bashing this thing every single day, right? He was, having a manure conniption trying to short this thing, and he's getting squeezed. What a coincidence. Andrew Left, you are not welcome to join the Newsbeat room. He's the only restriction we have. But looking at Tilray here, this is the name we short. Looks so strong, right? It is. It's powerful. Why did we choose today? Why not yesterday? Why not the day before? Why not the day before? Why not the day before? Is it a coincidence? It's not. Is it a coincidence that we put a 125 target when it was in the 90s and it hit $127.27 and then it magically fell? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that we made money on Apple? Do you think it's me that is moving Apple? Do you think I am moving $1 trillion company? You think it's the Newsbeat live room moving $1 trillion company? Or is it us taking advantage of the robots that are moving it? You be the judge. So, again, that is our game plan. How about all my Forex trades? We actually got filled on a Forex trade, so I have an open order. Was up money when I did this when I last looked. So don't copy the top trade here above the gray line. That is an order that is filled. It was the short euro Canadian dollar. I put in one new order. It's a buy on GBP CHF. That's Great Britain pound Swiss franc. You have my buy order. This is my limit order, 1.25642. That is up to 5 decimal places out. That's where my pending order is. That is exactly where I'm sitting on the bid right now, 1.25147. In case I get filled over here and I'm wrong, I'll get stopped out right here. In case I get filled and I'm right, I'll hit my take profit right over here. Very simple. How about some Newsbeat levels? Isn't it amazing how our Netflix levels, so many of the names we picked out today, uh, we're just accurately using the support and resistance levels. Is it a coincidence? Of course it isn't. Take advantage of this. Screenshot this. Print it out. Keep it by your table. Don't sweat bullets over it, but have it handy. Maybe something's moving throughout the day. Maybe you like one of the biggest FANG names out there, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, or Google. Maybe you're watching the Qs, Spiders, or IWM. Maybe you would like to just glance over and look at a level that might help you potentially with any ideas you have. Here it is. I take the time to create this every single day for you, 5 days a week. And with that, I shared my game plan in Forex. Of course, we are up to number 5. That is where we go into our full stock analysis. That is your stock, my levels and thoughts, where I would potentially look to purchase for myself some of these names. And of course, we break down all of that for you and more. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.